Good morning, everybody. Mestre Sukuri coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. We did it, guys. Episode number 40, Mestre Vibes, Mestre Sukuri Podcast. I want to start off by just saying thank you so much to everybody here on Patreon and for just being such a part of an amazing thing. Guys, these podcasts are on anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes, and I'm going to get into a lot of things today, just more of a catch-up because it's been so busy. I spent the last 3 weeks just really cleaning up and organizing my academia and my life, and this week was surreal. I feel fantastic as I've organized my life over the last 6 months or 1 year. I've really been able to just focus here on doing things artistically. On Patreon, this podcast, I'll talk a little bit about how that's developed. And more important, I have so much creative time now available. I'm doing so much. Yesterday, I did a live in Portuguese on my Instagram, Mestre Sukuri Capoeira, and I was just practicing samba music, the vocals, and learning to really sing the songs as best I can. And I'll be doing a lot more with that. I got a special project coming up, and I'll get into it on this podcast on what's coming up and all the amazing things that'll be happening this year in 2023. And because you guys are part of Patreon, you guys will be getting a lot of stuff going on, and there'll be so many great things that you guys will all be privy to and first people. So let's get right into it. I got some new cubby holes for the academia. I'm organizing the first AU-a-thon. I've been cleaning up a lot. First of all, the cleaning up is very spiritual here in Japan. Over New Year's, we really do what we call osoji, which is like the big cleaning of the year. And that's also to be able to get your head cleaned up and refreshed so that you can be ready for the new year, for 2024 in my case. And I got that all done. It took about 4 weeks, because the academia is really big. And I got a lot of stuff done, a lot of cleaning, and I'm a little bit organizing this week, but basically all the main cleaning is done. So there's a lot of good things going on and a lot of fantastic feeling in the academia. I feel really refreshed, and I'm teaching classes a lot better. I had mentioned how I've got the new system of teaching, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that so you guys can kind of understand what's going on with all of that. So what I do now is I have a list of all my basic teaching, and I'm feeling more and more, because I have a lot of new students, and the weekday classes aren't as busy as the weekend classes. So the weekday classes are really fantastic because I can do a lot more one-on-one or one-on-two, one-on-three, one-on-5 max, while Saturdays and Sundays tend to be very, very full classes of 10 to 15, sometimes 20 people per class. So what am I doing? What I do first is I made a list of things that I want to accomplish in one class. So what do I want to accomplish in one class? In one class, I want to be able to accomplish the following. First, I want to do instruments, and what I'm doing is I write up on the whiteboard on the wall what I'm going to accomplish this class. That way, when students come in, they are ready to go and they know what they have to do. For example, the first 10 minutes, I no longer teach instruments. I mean rhythms, instruments during class. If I have a specific need to teach something, I will, but I no longer teach people instruments during class. What they need to do is come in a few minutes earlier. And this is because I have my own space. I'm able to do this, and this is my full-time job. They can come in a few minutes early, 30 minutes early, I'm here, and they can ask me to teach them how to do it. When they ask, they should be prepared with notebook, to take notes and everything necessary so they can learn what I'm about to pass on. Then they have to practice it. Class time, the first 10 minutes now, is rehearsal time. It's rehearsal time or review time. It's not learning time for instruments. And the reason I do this now is, one, is because this is my full-time job. I can spare the extra time to be here 30 minutes earlier. I'm always here. If it's a Wednesday, Friday, every day I'm here, 8 in the morning till my last class finishes. So I'm here all the time if anyone needs anything. So there's no excuse on students' side anymore not to learn something. It's more of choice. And that comes down to the student's desire to learn something or not. But I no longer try to teach during class music. So the first 3 minutes, I do one instrument. For example, I might write on the board berimbau, pandero, and atabaki. And I'll write berimbau, samba grande Angola, atabaki, capoeira, pandero, baião. Then the instruments need to be ready to go, so the students have to come in and prepare their instruments and get it ready. If you don't know how to string the berimbau, then I'll show you. Then you practice, then you learn. If you don't know how to play the instrument, you ask before class. Why? Because I have to be conscious of moving forward. Also, I don't feel that during class, it's more of a rehearsal time. So during class, people have to do. And the reason I no longer feel any guilt about doing this or not, or feeling like, am I doing okay? Guys, any capoeira teachers out there, generally, the capoeira school has no instruments for the students to practice with. 99% of the capoeira schools that I know of, you have to buy your own instruments. People don't share instruments. Buy your own pandero, buy your own berimbau. Carry it to and from class. Carry it around with you all day. Carry your makulele sticks. But I understand in Tokyo, a lot of my students are professional and they can't really be walking around with that. Or I want to be able to give a better environment so they don't have to worry about carrying their instruments around all day. But because I provide all of that at my cost, at my expense, at my investment, then people can come in a little bit earlier and take it and be available and take advantage of having all this material and my time and everything. Because my students pay a monthly fee, I consider that my job and I'm here for them. So if you don't know something, you just come in and ask. It's that simple. Same for anybody in Patreon. If you want to learn something, just shoot me an email and I'll do an instructional video for you. I'm enjoying it. I'll be doing another teaching video today on Brazilian percussion, and it's going to be good. I'm going to be working on Ijexá so that everyone can understand how I do it and how it works together, okay? So we do 3 minutes, go. Use the timer, Samba do Grande Angola. If people are going, then we can sing. Then the next instrument, Pandero Baião, go, 3 minutes, boom. 3 minutes, Atabaki, boom, everyone's ready to go. I don't have to tell anyone what to do. If they don't know, they ask. Then I go over about 5 minutes of today's singing, like review, like maybe the choruses. Right now I'm just teaching the choruses because it's a lot of work and I can't expect my students to dedicate 30 hours a week to learning music, but they can at least try to learn the choruses, like, oh, wow, ay, doutor. Toca about things that we're doing, like Capoeira Zoador songs. I pick a couple of Zoador songs and popular songs, maybe a Puxada de Rede and Makulele. And we go over that in about 5 minutes again. Before or after class, I'm happy to help you learn the song. But I'm forcing people now. No, I'm holding people responsible for their own learning. I'm here. I live Capoeira 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, 365 days a year. I am here doing Capoeira, and everybody knows it. So if you need anything, let's get to it. I'm happy to help. learning a song, learning the choruses. You write it down. My kids bring in their notebooks and they write it in phonetic in Japanese so they can be able to learn the songs. I tell them the meaning. Then we do 5 minutes of one of 3 choices. One of 5 choices, because I consider this my class or my teaching style. What do you call it? Like core requirements. Not core requirements, but core artistic things. So we'll either do 5 minutes of makulele, or 5 minutes of puxada de rede, 5 minutes of dança afro, 5 minutes of samba, or 5 minutes of samba reggae. And when I do the samba, it can be either samba or samba de roda. So that's kind of like a warm-up I give my students. After that, we do a stretch, which takes about 10 minutes because we've been moving around. Oh, sorry, let me go back a little bit. After the 5 minutes of teaching singing, like the words, then we have a 10-minute jam session just to get everybody excited and connected to the music. So instruments, 3 instruments, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes singing, learning, 5, and then 10 minutes jam session. 5 minutes warm up with dance, then 10 minutes stretch. Then what I call fundamentos, I pick 6 techniques from my teaching repertoire or our standard Capoeira Zoador techniques. For example, if I were to do, let me see if I can find this here real quick. Here we go. I might choose, I have aquecimento, which is going to be movimentação, which is movement. And in that movement, I'm picking something that is more of a footwork movement, something to teach you to swing, to balance on, and we do sets of 10 of all of the following 6 movements, okay? So first we might do, like, for example, meia volta. We'll do 10 of those. Then fundamentos corporal, which is corporal movements or body movements, and generally from the hands, heads, non-kicks. So like maybe I'll do cabeçada or escada or defesa embaixo, defesa por dentro, palmada por dentro, something, 10 times. Then I'll pick a kick, and the kick will be something like, it could be anything, meia de compasso, it can be armada. If a new person doesn't know how to do it, then at that time, I tell them, please watch, because this is what I'm going to be teaching you today. And that only takes a few seconds. Negativas, I'm going to do some kind of like negativa, maybe negativa regional or eu ia rolê or something, 10 times. Then an entrada, a takedown, for maybe we'll do like a tesoura takedown, a arrastão, and that'll only be by yourself, just to get your brain started. Then I'll choose a florero. It might be a macaco con uma mão, like a one-handed macaco. And if you can't do macaco, I'll say, here, everybody get down. Let's just jump to the side like this. And then I'll say, I'll work with you on this later. So not only do the new students who don't know it have a chance to see what I'm talking about and see what's coming up, the students who can run the class, especially students who've been around and know the names and whatnot, can get their 60 movement warm-ups super fast and their brain's going. After that, I'll have focus time. And in that focus time, I will teach to the new students slowly, and I can use a more advanced student or students who know what they're doing to train by themselves, and they can do their exercises, whether by themselves or in partners. So this makes it super easy. And one thing I am changing now, that if you're an advanced student, which means you have blue and color in your belt, starting from yellow, blue, you're an advanced student, and you are also responsible to know all the names, all the information that I have on these lists. For example, I might tell, contra Mestre Jacaré, please lead the focus. I'm really going to work with this other person a little bit, or I'm doing something else, or I need somebody to do that. Or Mestre Linguista, please lead the focus, the fundamentos. And then we put it all together during the focus, something interesting for everybody. Then roda time, depending on how many people, a 5-minute cool down stretch, and a Q&A time. Since I've been doing this, I've been accomplishing a lot more. I've brought back that really Vamos que vamos, let's go. Primitive ashe that I really love, that primal ashe that really ignites the fire in my soul about capoeira and what I do. And also, it's really forcing the students to take responsibility and be prepared for class, not just come, wait in line for fast food and just wait to be like served every time. So this makes the capoeira not only more enjoyable for me to teach because I like it this way, but also for the students to do a lot more. And the response I've gotten is it's really nice, and the class is over. It feels like 30-minute class because everything is just going. When you give people time to be, wishy-washy or soft or have break time or something, like I give people water breaks, but it's a water break, not a vacation. Let's go 30 seconds. I hit the timer. I got like 3 or 4 timers up on the wall that I use all the time. Hit it. Let's go. Hit it. Let's go. It's time to move. Let's go. And this is working out really well for me. So that's one thing I really organized and thought about during the cleanup and organizational. Now, the academia has gotten cleaned and it is fantastic. Everything is in its place. My recording studio here, unfortunately, it's not soundproof 100%, and they're doing construction literally next door. And they're hammering and whatnot, but it's been pretty good for the last 15 minutes or so. So I'm really happy that things are going well, and I'm hoping that this is such a nice, clear podcast for all of you. Now, I'm ready. I'm bringing down a bunch of my T-shirts. My Boa Fashion stuff is going to be coming down. So all of my Boa Fashion stuff is coming together. One thing that's happened that has just been a blessing is all of your guys' support. Because originally my plan was to balance out to reach my goals between Patreon and Boa Fashion, and every time somebody joins Patreon, it makes my goal on Boa Fashion less, so I can enjoy more doing creative and artistic stuff, which includes now Boa Fashion. So like I can make some new designs, and I got a special event for all of you Patreon members. I'm thinking next month some clothes stuff that you guys will be able to have access at a very, very special price, because I don't need to work from that as much as I thought I would have to originally a year ago. So I am feeling fantastic, and it's all because of you guys. So right now I've been working on a lot of samba, a lot of singing. I'm really focusing on my time. As I've mentioned, I've been invited to go to, there's a possibility of going to Thailand this year, Korea, Taiwan, Germany, England, anywhere I want to go basically in the United States, including mostly the West Coast, possibly California and Colorado. Colorado mostly because my daughter's there now, so I want to go see her. She's in college, so I want to get myself over there. And I was thinking, I've been to the States about 5 times since I came to Japan, and that's 5 times in 25 years. And only twice in that time, or maybe 3 times, I've gone to see my family or the people I really care about that are still over there. So I'm going to try to make an effort to visit a little bit more. And hopefully I can get Mestre Linguiça to use some of his time off to teach here while I'm gone, and we'll figure that all out in time. So I'm really hoping to get to the United States, possibly to Europe, depending on the logistics, because it's all about how much time I can take off here. The one drawback of having a successful Capoeira Academy, that if it's full time and you don't have any other teachers, you have to be here. But, the parents are very understanding that I also have obligations as a mestre, artist, and also as this isn't my home country. So I'm very blessed with a lot of the things that I'm able to do. Now, what I'm going to do and try to do in the future is try to be even a little bit more organized and use technology. So maybe I can figure out a couple of ways that when I'm not here, the classes can still run and people can help me with all of that. So what's next? I'm working on some new percussion recording. I'm working on... I really enjoy adding music to the capoeira and focusing on the musical aspects, not just on copying, because as I've tuned my ear more and more to music, especially capoeira music and samba, I realize like that what I want to get done and what I feel is clear and clean is something that I really want to focus on. I'm loving learning the correct lyrics because for many of the songs, especially samba, I knew for many years, and I would do that thing where you replace words. So I'm trying to learn the lyrics. I've got about 15 songs that I'm going through, and I'm trying to learn well. And why am I doing this? Mostly because I just want to have a good time. I want to be, for example, Big Adam, is a friend of mine in Australia. I know maybe you don't have a lot of time to listen, but if you hear this, I would love to visit Australia. And if we're hanging out with some of your friends and, we find a conga or something and start playing a little bit of music, that I'm able to bring a little bit of the beauty that you support as a friend, but also as somebody who's always been supporting what I do, that I can do that. And maybe your friends go, wow, that's cool. You have a cool friend. And I say, yeah, but my friend's cool too. So I want to be able to share the beauty of what I do and the love and passion of samba, capoeira, samba, reggae, everything I do, so that I can contribute back to the world in a very positive and always, as I say, holistic way. I really love it, and I can't say, again, enough how much I just feel lucky to be able to do all of this. I'm going to jump in today to the Ijexá rhythm on the drum, and then I'm going to put it all together. I made a video before, and if I can find that, I'm going to try to see if I can do a better situation with that, because I'm thinking about how that video used to be. And now that I have better recording and whatnot, maybe I can do a quick video here so that I can put it together and you can understand how it works a lot more. Okay, guys, Mestre Sucuri, feeling fantastic. Capoeira, Zoador Tokyo, Mestre Vibes. Thank you, everybody, for supporting. So much coming up in 2024. Hope to see you all soon. Lots of love, lots of peace, lots of capoeira.